Imagine waking up in a stranger's house. You don't remember your name, you don't know why you're bleeding, and everyone around you is watching silently with their phones out, not to help, just to watch. She jolted awake on a tattered couch, breath shallow, hands trembling. The living room was cluttered with broken picture frames, overturned chairs, and an old CRT television hissing static. Her head throbbed, her mouth was dry, and there were no memories, not even a name, nothing. She looked down, her hands were bandaged, one bleeding through. On the coffee table sat a photo of a little girl smiling. The girl looked familiar, maybe her daughter, niece. No name came to mind, just a deep, aching sense of guilt she couldn't explain. Outside the window, a woman stood perfectly still on the sidewalk, holding her phone up, filming. No words, just silence and the faint buzzing of her device. The woman stared right at her, not blinking, not moving. A high-pitched whine filled the air. A symbol, a strange white Y-shaped glyph, flashed across the TV screen. Then silence, then screaming. She stumbled out the front door, shouting for help. But the street was filled with people, all standing with phones pointed at her, capturing every move. A man across the street nodded to another. Then one of them raised a shotgun. She ran, down the street, around corners, through backyards. Every few feet, someone else would appear, face blank, phone raised, like a sinister flash mob. They didn't help, they didn't speak, they just filmed. She begged, cried, pleaded, but nothing. The only thing louder than her panic was the silence of the watchers. A man in a balaclava emerged from an alley holding a bat wrapped in wire. She turned and sprinted into the woods, breath ragged, lungs burning. Behind her, the hunters followed. She hid behind a tree. Her hands were shaking so badly she couldn't keep quiet. She bit her knuckle, tears running down her face. What was this? A prank? A nightmare? Why couldn't she remember anything? Then a voice, a woman's voice. "Hey, you okay?" She turned and saw another woman, late 20s, dirt-streaked, scared, but kind. "They're hunting people," the woman whispered. "They tried to get me too. Come with me." For the first time all day, she felt something close to relief. She wasn't alone, but the girl didn't give her name. Didn't ask hers, just handed her a backpack and said, "If you want to live, don't stop running." And they ran, through the trees, through the shadows, away from the watchers. But the watchers were always there, and the symbol followed them, burned into screens, walls, and even carved into a tree trunk they passed. Whatever this was, it wasn't random, and somehow it felt like she deserved it. The stranger who saved her introduced herself only as Jem. She led the woman, still nameless, still bleeding, through an abandoned neighborhood. "They call them hunters," Jem explained, "and everyone else just watchers. They don't help, they don't fight, they just film, like this is all some kind of game." As they crouched behind a dumpster, the woman finally asked, "Why me?" Jem hesitated. "They only chase certain people. I don't know why. I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Same as you, maybe." They moved through the ruins of a burned-out gas station. Another symbol, white, Y-shaped, was spray-painted across a wall. "What is that thing?" she asked. Jem just shook her head. Inside a convenience store, Jem handed her a granola bar. The TV screen behind them flickered, then displayed the symbol again. Then, her face, a photo, a mugshot. No, something else. Her face looking younger, staring blankly ahead. She dropped the granola bar. That's me." "Turn it off," she begged, but there was no remote. The TV blared sound now, news anchors, clips of protests, angry voices. "Victoria Skillane," the voice boomed. "Accomplice to child murder. Justice has been reimagined." The woman fell to the floor. No, that's not me. I don't remember that. I don't remember anything." Jem pulled her to her feet. "We have to go, now. This place isn't safe." As they fled, watchers filmed from behind shelves and counters. One clapped slowly, another blew her a kiss. Their eyes were hollow, entertained. Outside, the hunters arrived. One fired at them, shattering a window above her head. She screamed. They ran, blood on her arms, a cut on her leg. Everything hurt. But worse than the pain was the doubt blooming inside her. Was this justice, or was it something far more disturbing? Jem guided her through thick woods, speaking in hushed tones about a broadcast center near White Bear Lake, controlling everything. Destroying it would stop the signal, ending watchers and hunters. Victoria nodded, feeling disconnected from her name. They arrived at a hidden cabin filled with maps, radio parts, and wires, indicating Jem's prior visits. Jem suggested resting briefly. Victoria collapsed onto a cot, dreaming of disturbing images. A white van, a crying girl, a forest, a laughing man, and her recording with a phone. Victoria awoke, and Jem offered her water, asking if she was okay. She whispered no, but insisted they must end the situation. They prepared supplies, with Jem loading a rifle and Victoria finding car keys and a radio. The radio buzzed with White Bear Facility, initializing reset, chilling her. At dusk, they stole a truck and drove toward a tower resembling a lighthouse over the trees, its symbol glowing like a brand. They were ambushed by a hunter filming them, but Jem accelerated, and the hunter jumped aside, laughing. No one truly tried to stop them, raising questions. They arrived at the facility, finding open gates, no guards, and no resistance, just a strange, heavy feeling, as if they were expected. Victoria and Jem pushed open the metal doors of the tower. Inside, the broadcast center was cold, clinical, blinking servers, hanging monitors, and that haunting symbol pulsing on every screen. The whole place reeked of something inhuman, like justice processed through a machine. Jem scanned the room and pointed. "The core system. We destroy that, it ends, all of it." Victoria moved cautiously. The screens began to shift, cycling through live feeds of her face on dozens of monitors, sometimes from drone angles, sometimes from a child's eye view. Then one monitor froze, a girl, no older than 6, dark curly hair, smiling shyly into the camera. "Jem," Victoria whispered, "that's the girl from the photo at the house." Jem didn't answer, just stared. Another screen switched. Victoria and a man, older, pale, stood in the woods. The man was filming the girl. Victoria was filming the man. Her face was blank, like she wasn't even there. "No," Victoria gasped. "That's not me. That can't be me." Jem turned to her, face solemn. "You don't remember, but the world does." Suddenly, the doors slammed shut. Steel shutters sealed the windows. From behind a glass wall, a suited man appeared. Applause rose from hidden speakers. Jem stepped back. "Sorry, Vic," she said softly. The room went dark. Spotlights turned on, blinding her. A curtain rose, revealing a full audience behind glass, watching like it was a show. Victoria screamed, pounding on the glass. Then a calm voice echoed over the speaker system. "Victoria Skillane, welcome to White Bear Justice Park. Your loop is now complete." And with that, everything went black again. Victoria woke up on the same couch, in the same house to the same static TV. A camera crew stood in the shadows. A man with a clipboard spoke calmly. "Loop complete. Amnesia patch has taken effect. Memory cleanse verified." A team entered. One applied makeup to her face to cover bruises. Another adjusted her bandages. One replaced the family photo on the table with a fresh print. None made eye contact. She blinked at them, confused. "Who are you? What? Where am I?" They didn't answer. Outside, the watchers were already gathering, phones ready. A woman in a white lab coat entered. "You've been chosen," she said with a smile. "You're going to be a star." Victoria was escorted out of the house by 2 guards. On either side of the street, people clapped, cheered, filmed. Her expression was vacant, just like before. She was placed in a van and driven past signs. White Bear Justice Park. Today's performer, Victoria Skillane. Phones ready, participation encouraged. Backstage, the suited man watched through tinted glass. "Upload the new footage," he said. "Tonight's episode was a hit." Someone laughed. "She cried earlier than yesterday." "Good, people love that." They prepared the streets, repainted the symbol, reset the weapons, reset the hunters. Even Jem re-entered costume, her kind face replaced by cold performance. The audience returned. So did the loop. Justice on repeat, for a crime Victoria couldn't remember, but the world refused to forget. On a screen in the control tower, the original footage played silently. A girl named Jemima Sykes, 6 years old, had gone missing. 2 people were responsible: Ian Rannoch, her abductor and killer, and Victoria Skillane, his girlfriend, who filmed the entire ordeal. Victoria never intervened, never helped. The footage was never released to the public. But one image, a freeze frame of Victoria calmly filming the child crying, leaked online, and rage erupted. Victoria claimed amnesia during the trial. Some said she was brainwashed, others said she was just as guilty. The jury agreed, life sentence. But society wanted more than justice, it wanted punishment. So they gave them White Bear, a psychological loop, a daily reset, a broadcast. Viewers could visit, film, participate, a living retribution system. One woman, endlessly punished, endlessly watched. One night, a technician named Maya, new on the job, watched the loop with growing discomfort. "She doesn't remember," Maya said. "We're punishing someone who doesn't even know why." Her supervisor shrugged. "Doesn't matter, the viewers remember." "But she's not learning, she's just suffering." Exactly the point. That night, Maya unplugged a single cable. The next morning, Victoria woke up and remembered. Victoria didn't scream, didn't run. She sat quietly on the couch. The watchers came, filming, laughing. She stared into the cameras and said one word: "Why?" The crowd hesitated. One by one, phones lowered. She wasn't afraid, she wasn't angry, she just looked tired. For the first time, someone stepped forward. A teenage girl. She put her phone away. "She's not doing anything," she whispered. The others glanced around. No one chased her. Victoria stood, walked down the street, past the crowd, and no one stopped her. In the control tower, alerts went off. Loop interrupted. Subject self-aware. Broadcast terminated. Victoria vanished into the woods. She may not have remembered what she did, but everyone else would always remember. And in the silence, the question remained: did we really want justice, or just a better show?